The 3DS may have been retired to the great arcade in the sky, but that doesn't mean the best Nintendo 3DS games of all time can't still be enjoyed on a regular basis. Nintendo has always unquestionably dominated the handheld market, from giving us color with the GBC or going clamshell with the SP, eventually creating a handheld with dual screens and allowing us to live in a world where we have 3D graphics without 3D glasses. They have been one step ahead all this time, undeniably. However, choosing my favorite games for the console is tricky. With 1,891 titles available, narrowing it down to just a few games is no easy task. Still, I'm more than up for the job, and after careful consideration and a lot of playing, I'm finally there. The DS entry in the series did a marvelous job of giving players the full-blooded 3D experience, but 3DS extra horsepower made this feel more like a home console release than ever before. Mario Kart 7, the first game in the series to have a number at the end of its title, Fact Fans, is perhaps one of the finest racers ever made, and certainly one of the best on the 3DS. Bringing back coins during races and introducing vehicle customization and underwater driving to the series, its excellent auto-stereoscopic 3D once again proved that, in the right hands, the system's namesake feature could really add some special sauce, helping flesh out the world just that little bit more. Booting it up now makes us miss having the option, roll on Nintendo 3D Switch. Calm down, that's a joke, or is it? Story of Seasons, Trio of Towns is a relaxing yet deep farm simulation game. It starts slow but becomes addictive once you get into its rhythm. With 3 distinct towns, numerous NPCs, multiplayer options, and plenty of farming chores, it offers a lot of content for players to enjoy. It's a great game for quick bursts of play on the go, perfect for the 3DS's portable nature. Whether or not you're a platforming fan, and whether or not you've played any of the previous titles in this series, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is an exceptionally well-crafted game that should not be ignored. The art style and sense of humor aren't going to appeal to everyone, but they work well together and manage to set a very specific tone that WayForward has clearly spent time perfecting. There's little reason for any 3DS owner to avoid adding this gem to their treasure collection. This game is an enhanced version of the DS original, offering updated visuals, a new side story involving Bowser Jr., and gameplay enhancements like the ability to speed up gameplay. It's considered the best version of the Mario and Luigi RPG series and provided a great swansong for the 3DS, despite being released when most Nintendo fans had moved on to the Switch. Console blessed with an abundance of games, 3DS has done particularly well in the RPG department. This example offers top-shelf dungeon crawling, a deep battle system that sees you fighting and collecting demons across the elemental spectrum, and an excellently written story, not to mention the soundtrack. With so many games and so little time, there's no shame in easy mode either, but Shin Megami Tensei 4 is a game to savor for fans or newcomers alike. Bravely Default is a JRPG that revitalized some traditional elements of the genre with its Brave/Default mechanic. Despite some minor microtransactions, it offers a compelling hero's tale and beautiful presentation, standing out as one of the finest 3DS exclusives. Its direct sequel, Bravely Second, and Layer, is also highly regarded and worth playing. Following the revival of the series, Fire Emblem Fates stepped things up a gear with a two-pronged assault. Comprised of 2 separate games, the Birthright campaign had you siding with your blood relatives in Hashido, while Conquest saw protagonist Corrin siding with the Kingdom of Nor. The latter choice upped the difficulty to old-school levels and asked a little more from the player, but regardless of the path you took, you were guaranteed a lengthy campaign that built on the foundation of Awakening and added a host of extras, including more varied and interactive battlefield environments, the ability to bring past heroes into the game via their amiibo figures, and, very importantly, feat for the characters. After all, 3DS was all about stability, and if 2 paths weren't enough for you, Nintendo kindly provided a third option, Pokémon style, with the DLC campaign Revelation, in which Corrin refused to pick sides. Best enjoyed once you've polished off the previous campaigns, it was another triumphant part of a fabulous Fire Emblem feast. Fates was nothing if not substantial, and while the story can feel like it's dragging at times, it's tough to hold too many grudges against padding since the core loop is so polished and fun. SteamWorld Heist is a unique blend of 2D perspective, turn-based strategy, and skill-based attacks. It offers impressive depth in mechanics and charming presentation. Whether you're seeking challenging strategy or an entertaining story, SteamWorld Heist delivers both in a captivating way. Kirby Triple Deluxe is a pleasant platforming package that doesn't push the envelope very far. The story mode is an elegant but conservative adventure that trades too greatly in familiarity and simplicity, the same type of neo-nostalgia that Nintendo courts so successfully with the Mario and Zelda franchises. Triple Deluxe is sure to scratch that Kirby itch, or create one for new players, but fails to move the franchise forward in any meaningful direction. However, the rest of the package holds its own quite well and went on birth more than one standalone titles with Kirby Fighters and DDD's Drum Dash. A fine introduction to Kirby's brand of adventuring, then. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is a sequel that improved upon the original GameCube game. It utilizes the 3DS's stereoscopic 3D effectively, creating a visually stunning and immersive experience. The gameplay, where Luigi explores haunted mansions, sucking up ghosts and coins, is both enjoyable and comedic. It's a great precursor to Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is a classic, and this version is arguably the definitive one. Bowser's Minions is a harmless but shallow add-on, but the Superstars are the real attraction. This is a series that has a distinct and special place within Nintendo gaming, and after experimentation and not always popular approaches in the 3DS era of games, this took us back to the IP's roots. What a treat it is! Too funny, smartly designed, and pure unpretentious joy. This is a great starting point for those that missed the original in the Game Boy Advance era, and should also be tempting to those with fond memories of that adventure. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D brings the classic SNES series to the 3DS with updated graphics and mechanics. The addition of an extra world and the use of auto-stereoscopic 3D enhance the experience, making it a visually stunning and engaging platformer. The game fits well into the 3DS's collection of quality platformers and offers a great soundtrack. The irreverent minigame series came to 3DS late in life at a time when many might have preferred to see it land on Switch, but it's hard to be too miffed. WarioWare Gold makes use of the console's particular features, from its 2 screens to its tiny microphone, and curates many of the series' most popular games while also adding 50-ish new ones into the bargain. Similar to Rhythm Heaven Megamix, the series has many standout entries across consoles, and this is an excellent best-of package. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is a technical marvel, fitting the epic RPG onto a handheld console. While restricted to the new 3DS models, the game offers an impressive open world and engaging gameplay. It provides busy gamers with the opportunity to experience the vast world of Xenoblade Chronicles on the go. Squeezing Smash's frantic brawling onto a handheld seemed like an impossible feat, but Sakurai's team of wizards managed to get practically everything from the Wii U version onto the 3DS while also adding stereoscopic 3D, plus exclusive modes, Smash Run and Street Smash, and stages. This one introduced the ability to customize your fighters by changing their attacks and providing unique power-ups to create a playstyle that works best for you. It also introduced amiibo support, allowing you to train CPU characters and import them into a match with a simple tap of the figure on the console. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS even allowed you to use the 3DS as a controller for the Wii U version. Of course, the constant tension and rapid button presses mean it's definitely not the most comfortable way to play, but back in 2014, 3DS owners were treated to an honest-to-goodness, full-fat Super Smash Bros. On a handheld, and over a month before it came to Wii U. It's still an impressive game to this day and worthy of a place in your collection. Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are remakes of the classic Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire games. While they don't offer radical overhauls compared to previous Pokémon titles, they introduce new features and enhancements that make them fresh and enjoyable. The addition of the soar ability and the updated environments provide a unique experience for both new and veteran players. The Game Boy sequel to the original Metroid on NES was remarkable back in the day, but if there was ever a perfect candidate for a remake in Nintendo's back catalog, that was the one. Mercury Steam did a fabulous job updating Metroid 2's mechanics for the 21st century, giving a whole new audience the chance to experience an important chapter in the series' story. Handy additions like the map were joined with a new melee attack which introduced a delicate balance of risk versus reward, and the result was one of the best games on the system. It was no surprise that Nintendo partnered with the developer on Metroid Dread. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is a classic-style Monster Hunter game that offers a deep and rewarding gameplay experience. While it can be played on an original Model 3DS, the new 3DS offers better camera control and frame rates. The game's crafting system, which allows players to create items from defeated monsters, adds a rewarding element to the gameplay. A remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden, the second game in the series, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, stepped back from the triple-root complexities of its immediate predecessor, Fire Emblem Fates. Returning to the purity of an earlier time didn't mean a simpler game, though, as the original Japan-only Gaiden incorporated dungeon crawling and free-roaming RPG elements that were ideal fodder for a remake using systems developed for the previous 3DS entries. Indeed, it served as a sterling farewell for the series on the 3DS, a platform which kicked the series into the big-time success it so deserved in the West, although we can't help wishing more people had got to experience it through a Switch release. Still, this is a fine game, yet another to benefit from the localization talents of 8 to 4. Star Fox 64 3D is a remake of the classic Nintendo 64 game Star Fox 64. The remake retains the cinematic formula of the original game and adds sumptuous auto-stereoscopic 3D effects. While it may not capture the exact feel of the N64 version, Star Fox 64 3D is a great way to experience the classic game with updated visuals and features. Kid Icarus, Uprising is one of the most attractive, exhilarating, entertaining, and outrageously fun titles on 3DS. Uprising provides a substantial amount of content, its own brand of adrenaline-pumping set pieces, and wonderful humor. Arguably awkward controls aside, it sweeps you along at breakneck speed, and is a must-have title for that very reason. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy is an excellent package that delivers hours of entertaining and quirky interactive novel gameplay. It remains unique in its consistent quality and is a must-buy for fans of the franchise or those new to it. While the enhancements in this version are minor, it's still a wonderful addition to the 3DS library, offering surreal and humorous storytelling. Shovel Knight is more than just a great platformer, it's a celebration of classic gaming. Excellent controls, gorgeous graphics, an incredible soundtrack and endearing characters make the game worth playing. But top-notch level design, varied gameplay, hidden rooms, optional challenges and a deceptively rich combat system make it brilliantly memorable. The entire experience comes together so naturally that it feels more like a recently unearthed gem from the days of the NES than it does a latter-day attempt to milk nostalgia. Shovel Knight is the rarest kind of game, one that set sky-high expectations prior to release, and then managed to exceed all of them. It's a must-buy for platformer fans, and one of the most charming and satisfying experiences on 3DS. Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, originally released on the PS2, is a brilliant RPG remake for the 3DS. With great music, memorable characters, and quality-of-life improvements, it showcases the series' trademark style. Its sprightly pace makes it accessible to new players, making it an excellent choice for both newcomers and longtime fans of the franchise. Building on the solid foundation of Kirby, Triple Deluxe, this is a game where the pink ball can transform into Mech Kirby. Personally, we would have scribbled that into the design doc, grinned from ear to ear and gone down the pub for a celebratory pint, but the consummate professionals at HAL took that winning central idea and surrounded it with brilliantly designed worlds, trademark rainbow visuals and enough charming moments to make Kirby, Planet Robobot the finest outing on 3DS, and arguably on any system, for the most powerful video game character of them all. Trademark. We always knew he was more than candy floss with a face. Animal Crossing, New Leaf allows players to become the mayor of their village, offering more control over shaping the environment. With its relaxing gameplay, diverse activities like bug catching and fishing, and charming interactions with villagers, the game provides a joyous and evergreen experience. The addition of the campsite and amiibo support and updates added more depth to the game, making it a timeless title in the series. The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask 3D was a magnificent refurbishment of a classic. The visual overhaul, streamlined features, and other improvements make this version even more enjoyable than the original N64 release. Minor flaws seem insignificant against its unique gameplay ideas, the dark and haunting theme, and a cleverly crafted game world which gets the chance to truly shine again. It's strange, perhaps, that a game in which the main premise revolves around repeatedly traveling back in time was so ahead of its time. In its enhanced form, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask 3D defies its age and stands shoulder to shoulder with the very best games on its host system or anywhere else. Simply put, it's a masterpiece that every 3DS owner should play. Fire Emblem Awakening revitalized the series, gaining mainstream popularity with its engaging characters and deep gameplay mechanics. The use of stereoscopic 3D enhanced the battlefield experience, while the well-written story and memorable characters made for an emotionally engaging experience. Awakening's success played a significant role in bringing the Fire Emblem series to new heights of popularity. When we first heard that the 3DS entry in the venerable series would revisit the world of A Link to the Past, our excitement was tempered with trepidation. The SNES Classic is sacred ground, and after so many 3D iterations that stuck to its template, perhaps returning to that Hyrule might sully our memories, or worse, reveal that it wasn't quite as good as we remember. Of course, our concern was unwarranted. A Link Between Worlds proved to be spectacular. Like all the best mechanics in the series, its novel wall-painting transformation puzzles were so ingeniously simple that you wondered why the concept hadn't been hit upon before. Great use of the system's 3D feature brought Hyrule to life in a game that rivals the greatest in the series. If, shock, horror, you're reading this and you don't own a 3DS, it's time to track down a deal and play one of the very best games in a franchise of winners. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time 3D is a reworking of the classic game that has received numerous Best Game of All Time awards. The game strikes a perfect balance between nostalgia for the original N64 version and modern updates, vastly improving the experience with updated UI, textures, and character models. It's considered the best way to experience Ocarina of Time and is a must-play for everyone. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.